Here's the starting lineup, Mickey, for Uganda today.
Yeah, interestingly, on-court captain today is Agio as Proskovia starts on the bench. It's the same defensive lineup from yesterday. However, notable change, Stella Oyela, the centre who was removed from the court yesterday, starts at goal attack today. And then we have for Samoa the same defensive lineup of Rasmussen and captain Salia Gibb in that back end. However, Tanamo, who was their highest percentage shooter from yesterday, ending at 18 out of 20 at 90%, starts on the bench for Salanoa and Toa, who earned her bib and made a massive impact in that loss against Scotland.
So it's noisy here at the M&S Bank Arena. Of course it is. It's World Cup netball time. England on one court and Uganda are poised. So changes, as Mickey Austin said, by both of the coaches. Vincent Kawanuka, the head coach of Uganda, and Francis Salea, the head coach of Samoa, making some changes in certain areas. And there she is, Francis Salea.
Please welcome the match officials.
On the far left, the head coach of Uganda, Vincent Kawanuka. One team is going to pick up their first Netball World Cup victory in 2019. Umpires today, Joshua Bowring of Australia, and umpire 2, Gareth Fowler from New Zealand, the reserve umpire, Angela Armstrong-Lush from New Zealand. There they are. They will be taking charge of this Group D match between Uganda and Samoa. They have never played each other in the World Cup. Today is the first time.
Obstruction goal attack.
So straight away, hearing the voices of the umpires taking charge of today's match. And Mickey, one of them's got a win after both lost yesterday. What are we looking forward to seeing, apart from Cholhok there, the red hair of the Ugandan shooter, in for Peace Proskovia?
Yeah, that lady underneath the post there today, and Mary Cholhok, is going to make a massive impact. Not that that's taken anything away from Peace Proskovia. We know how amazing she can be, and just in general how much of a light she is as a person. But Mary Cholhok competing in her very first Netball World Cup, so great to see her getting a run out, and straight away Uganda into the action, defence making a presence, and they get the turnover to go all the way back down to their scoring end.
So Uganda looking to put 2 on the board early doors. This is what they did yesterday against England. They started strong. There were 15 goals apiece with the England Roses after the first quarter, the Ugandan side. So we know they start strong. And their centre pass again. All the action at the moment is in the way of Uganda. And there she is, Stella Oyela, back on court in a different position, as you said earlier, Mickey.
Yeah, she is, and that goal attack role for me is absolutely pivotal, especially when you're sitting out in front of a really tall timber shooter. I know it seems like the easiest thing in the world when you've got someone who's 6'6", sitting behind you, but it's absolutely imperative that you play a nice, hard, strong running game to draw those defenders. We see from the Samoa shooting end, they don't have that height advantage on their side as much, so it's going to mean the partnership of Salanoa and Toa are going to have to make sure they're using their creativity, their quick passing that we saw in their game yesterday against Scotland, to try and outsmart that Ugandan defence. Absolute flying intercept there from captain Salia Gibb, reading the play, trying to absolutely win ball for her team and hunt for ball outside the circle. That's a real key, and something we'll be looking to see as this game progresses through today.
So another goal for Uganda, after Samoa have put one on the board, leading the way then on the early part of this first 15 minutes. 4-1.
Advantage offside centre. Contact goalkeeper.
Well held from Brooke Amber Williams there. That core strength to be able to release ball before she unfortunately just lost her footing. But the result ends the same, nonetheless, in a goal for Samoa. And just nice early trade-off here, blow for blows.
Wing defence.
I'm going to try and not talk about the amount of physicality there is out on court today. But I'm sure that's something that we're going to see as a constant theme going through on the court.
There she is, Mary Cholhok, 6'7", 22 years old. Little bounce pass for Samoa to get the action underway off the centre pass. Looking for space in the centre third. Wing attack for Samoa. Minua Alitia.
You could see that placement straight away as it was released into the circle there. The height was good, but unfortunately the direction of the ball took it almost 50-50 in between the space of the shooter and the goalkeeper, and that's always a contentional issue. Really important that if you're going to place ball into your shooters, you're having a look at where their body is positioned and where they're protecting space.
So Ayala puts one on the board. Uganda leading by 4. 6 goals to 2. All the 3 that have had shots so far from either side, 100% in the early part of this match. Just been easy at the moment for Uganda, Mickey. Easy to feed it into the circle and get it to Cholhok.
Yeah, it's a really strong start from Stella Oyella in that goal attack position. You can see her picking and choosing her moments. She's taking on the drive nice and strongly. She's turning fully every single time, sighting her shooter behind her in the post. And she's sitting on 4 out of 4 at 100%. It's going to take a little bit of time for these Samoan defenders, I think, to adjust to the style of Mary. She's incredibly tall, but also very athletic. She's not just a holding shooter. So they're going to have to sit off the body, make things look open, and go for those hunts and flies that we know those Pacific Islands can provide us with.
Advantage break, goal
Salanoa
defense.
puts another one in.
Goal attack obstruction.
For Samoa. Obstruction called. Uganda pick it up
Contact and
on the
obstruction
charge.
centre.
Plays up and down all the time at the moment. It's a nice, easy shot, I was about to say, for Mary Cholhok. She gets the second bite of the Sporting Cherry and puts another one on the board for the She Cranes.
You can see the 2 Samoan defenders just having a conversation on the back end of that. They was actually trying to set up a little bit of a diamond defense. You can see it here. Rachel Rasmussen stepping to the front of the goal attack, who's taken on the drive outside the circle. And the reason she's doing that and leaving the shooter open is so that she's allowing her other defender an entry point in to try and hunt and win that ball. So have a look to see how that progresses through the rest of the day. Great interception. Oh, but unlucky from Rapati, who just cannot control her feet there. And as we know, in netball, you are not allowed to take more than 2 steps with the ball, and unfortunately, she was just too quick for her own good.
Well, Cholhok taking the opportunity from head coach Vincent Kiwanuka, starting her in the shooting position.
Advantage obstruction, goal shooter.
Uganda looking for space, centre court. Oh, wonderful interception. Now Samoa have to make this count. They've been given an opportunity.
Contact centre.
Again, Rapati running her feet there, diagonal ball, cross the court, 2-handed interception. Coach Francis Salia will be very, very happy with that, but you can currently see her shaking her head at the attacking contact that's going on off of the ball. Samoa are going to work this hard to turn over, defensive turnover off of such a tall and athletic team like Uganda. They're going to have to make sure that they reward it at the other end.
Throw in advantage offside. Inside the circle, throw in. Goal attack, throw in. That's it.
Just creeping inside the circle there, her toes going over the line, and as we know, unless you've got a G on your bib, you're not allowed to enter that goal circle.
Contact, goalkeeper.
Characteristic miss from Mary Cholhok there, but who else is going to be up for the contest than Stella Oyella? Smallest person in the circle, but getting herself right in rebound position. And again, sitting on 100%, 5 out of 5.
So a couple of misses for Cholhok, but at the moment Uganda comfortably
wing attack,
with
too
an
many
11-3
obstructions, so it's a
lead.
caution, persistent. Beside the wing attack.
Caution.
Yeah, we see an early caution there from umpire Joshua Burring,
the circle.
and that was on Samoan wing attack. So trying to get into the defence in Nua Atia, flooding all the way down, but unfortunately just not adjusting her distance to within that 3-foot rule. And umpire Joshua all over it, wanting to control the game early, which is a really smart move, I think.
Yep, authority being stamped down by both Bowring and Fowler.
Advantage obstruction,
See the space that Uganda are having in this first quarter.
Advantage contact, keeper.
Nice and easy feeds at the moment into the shooting partnership of Cholhok and Oyella. And this is what Uganda wanted. Starting strong, as I said, like they did yesterday. Good control, good take.
You can see the Samoan defenders working a 3-over on that centre pass, which means all 3 defenders are jumping over the line at the same time. The reason they're doing that is to try and stop the ball penetrating forward, but the Ugandans are getting around it by sending the ball back to a driving wing defence and then penetrating down. So just a thing to look out for. We might see it here. All 3 defenders over the line, the ball's going back up, and then they're getting driving ball to circle edge. So the Samoans are going to really have to look to try and stop that penetration towards circle edge if they want to have a crack at bringing this scoreline back.
Every time Uganda score, the flags are waved behind the Ugandan bench. And they're happy at the moment. 15-4, under 7 minutes remaining of the first quarter. That's better. That's good space. Mickey Austin giving a little air clap there to the Samoan attacking.
Yeah, so much better. You know, I spoke about Toa yesterday. I'm a real fan of hers. I think she's creative. I think she's got flair. She's got vision on the ball. But that was an amazing drive there, penetrating towards ball, sucking both defenders towards it and opening up the backspace. 2 options for every single pass. I cannot tell you how important it is that you have that consistently throughout this competition.
Well, she shot 10 from 12 yesterday when brought on, just over 83%, the Samoan shooter. And popping one in to pull one back, but Uganda now on the defence.
Contact, goal attack.
Yeah, contact against goal attack is called. So noisy here at the M&S Bank Arena, of course. England and Scotland on court 1. Uganda and Samoa here battling it out. And players once again picking themselves up off the court, but this is now Uganda's time. Looking to get it down into the shooting circle as quickly as possible.
Did you see that core strength on the edge of the circle there from Nanyonga? As a wing defence, she's not allowed inside the circle, but she had the sense of mind to contest the ball on the edge, lean on the ball so that she did not go inside the circle, and stand up and then deliver the ball. That was an absolute brilliant turnover from Uganda, and already we can see a injury, in inverted commas, timeout from Samoa, looking to change something really early doors here to try and stem the flow.
So changes by Francis Celia. She knows what she's talking about, the Wellington, New Zealand-born former player. Captained Samoa until 2011 before she retired. Manu has come on. And that's the first change of the match. Yeah, we'll see what difference that makes, Mickey.
Yeah, we saw her enter the game yesterday at that wing attack position as well.
Just here.
She just went about her business, nice and comfortably, really steady player, got really good footwork, working hard to try and free herself around this circle edge at the moment.
Contact goalkeeper, here. Side the goalkeeper.
Unfortunately, just a missed shot from Teo there, but a contact underneath the post.
Samoa.
Gives Samoa another bite at the cherry.
There's confirmation, the wing attack position. Manu now for Samoa. Salinoa on the ball. Williams to centre for Samoa. Uganda making it difficult for Samoa to even get into a position. But the opportunity's there, and it's taken to pull one back. Under 5 minutes remaining of this first quarter, Uganda have a 10-goal lead.
Yeah, I think they'll be really happy with this start. It's been really positive. They've played some really, really sharp, smart netball. Wing attacking Rachel Nanyonga has been really creative around that circle edge, turning nice and quickly and fully to sight her shooters. And that partnership of Oyela and Chola has been one that the Samoans have really struggled to contain so far in this first period of 15 minutes. Great drive, Balamanu. All the way around that circle edge, nice and strong and powerful onto the ball. Great swing from mid-court to mid-court. Again, the same theme as we saw yesterday, just struggling to find their shooters or availability when they land on that circle edge. Fantastic vision there, but again, we see 2 options. A goal attack offering towards ball and a shooter presenting towards post. So you're almost spoilt for choice. That was really, really good work from Samoa.
So, Samoa doing some good work.
Whole time. Goalkeeper, you're underneath using your knee. So it's dangerous contact. So I'm going to give you a warning.
Yep, let him speak. A warning is handed out.
Yeah, so Rachel Rasmussen, the goalkeeper for Samoa, was deemed by umpire Joshua Bowring there to have not only contacted, but he considered it a dangerous contact. And if something is dangerous or considered dangerous play, it doesn't matter if you've not been given a caution, it's automatically advanced to a warning. So we now know that if Rachel Rasmussen continues with that knee in the back as he described it, or underneath the shooter, then she is risking being removed from the court for 2 minutes. So she's going to have to make sure she is adjusting her game, coming right off the body to try and get out of the umpire's eye line with that contact.
So let's have a look.
So you can see her coming up and underneath the goal shooter there of Mary Chollock, which is a hard thing to do when you look at the height mismatch between them, to be honest. But as I say, it's your job as a player to listen to the umpires. The umpires have been so clear in their instruction. They know what to expect as players out there, what they can and can't get away with, so they're going to have to adjust. There is a long old time of this game left to play.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper.
The Madison stands at 1m83 tall, Mary Chollock at 2m1, so that slight height difference.
I mean, it's just not fair, is it?
Caused a bit of frustration for the Samoan goalkeeper.
Well, you would be, wouldn't you?
20 playing 10, under 2 minutes remaining of the first 15 minutes. Uganda, Samoa in the World Cup here at Liverpool. Mary Chollock wants everything. And the shooting partnership, as Mickey Austin said, doing well so far for the Ugandans. So's the Samoan one, Mickey. Both Salanua and Tua are shooting at 100%, but again, it's about getting the opportunity, getting the ball to the shooters.
Yeah, it's that service, it's that availability and ability, for you to be able to present at the exact same timing that your mid-quarters land on the circle edge. And there's been times where shooters are available, but the ball's off the circle edge, and they're not willing to feed the ball in, or when they do land right on the circle edge, shooters are just not presenting for them. You see their nice clear instruction again from umpire Gareth Fowler down the other end, warning the Ugandan defenders to stop what they're doing. No more of that, otherwise we will give you a caution.
Mary Cholhock then out of the shooting circle for one of the first times in this match so far. She's getting a little bit more flexibility and movement. She comes out the circle, gets herself back in and pops one in, kind of basketball layup style. She's warming up even more, which Samoa won't want.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is one of the reasons why Mary Cholhock and Peace Proskova in that Ugandan shooting circle are so deadly. You know, they may be tall, but these ladies are 6'6", 6'7", and they are mobile. They can move, they can run, they can release outside the circle. They have the ability to do layups, step in on the shot, and they are absolutely deadly. So that is a real problem, or a handful for anyone to contend with, let alone Samoa.
Well, it was a miss by Samoa in the dying seconds of the first quarter. It's going to be picked up by the Ugandan goalkeeper, Namfuka. Are they going to get it down the court quick enough? Nope, it's going to go out of play. It's kept in play, 3 seconds remaining. Oh, to be fair, she was fully time aware of how fast the clock was going down, but they'd just run out of time in the last few seconds of that first quarter. 22 playing 11, Uganda lead. And that was an entertaining first quarter.
This is netball, the very best one, as you can see.
So players coming back on court for the second quarter. Uganda leading Samoa 22 goals to 11. The fans, they look at them, the Ugandans in the back left of your shot, keeping themselves mobile. Fine voice throughout that first break after the first quarter. Very happy with the way that the She Cranes have started this match against Samoa. So Samoa have got a bit of work to do. Uganda, as I mentioned, did this yesterday against England. First quarter was good, but then they had a big loss in the second quarter as the Roses pulled away. So today, they don't want that to happen again against Samoa. Keep an eye if there's any changes. Oh, a bullet of a pass in. Action the centre for Uganda, feeding it in. Nice little smile of appreciation and respect from a teammate. 23-11.
Yeah, we see changes in that Samoan defensive end straight away. Smart coaching from Francis Salia. She's noticed that Rachel Rasmussen is on a warning. She wants to protect her player. So Rachel Rasmussen has taken a rest to the bench to get away from the umpire's eyes. Jeannie Salia-Gibb has taken a move back to that goalkeeper position. And we see a new World Cup debut in Sepolo come onto the court in goal defence. It'll be interesting to see what differs in this combination, lacking a little bit of height compared to Rachel Rasmussen. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of that hunting onto ball. See a split circle straight away in the back of your screen. And Salia-Gibb, unfortunate not to come out with that turnover. And Sepolo making her presence felt straight away by trying to challenge on that ball there. Oyella willing to put her body on the line for her country, smart move. And she's still on 100% at 10 out of 10. I cannot tell you how impressed I am with her in that goal attack position today.
So the score is still double. We've gone from 22-11 to 24-12. Oh, and well, I have to say, we heard that in our commentary position next to the court side, but back up in one piece, Uganda go again.
Agio coming straight out with a turnover there. You saw. Oh, another clash. You saw Nanfuka go flying out of the circle. Win ball with two hands. Couldn't keep it in court, flicks it over her head. Two players straight up in the air, contesting on ball, and umpire happy that both of them went straight up. May the best woman win. I think that was the result of.
So, Samoa, the changes have been made by the former captain turned coach. Took up the head coach role in 2017, Francis Celia. So she's made the changes, looking for now the impact to be made. Nice running around the circle edge, good use of the court.
Advantage offside, wing defence
Advantage offside called. It's confirmation of the team's scroll through the bottom. Right under the 10-foot post, and one popped in.
We do see glimpses of that ball speed, that fast movement from Samoa round circle edge, happy to give go, drive straight away, and be unselfish in their play. You saw it there, catch ball on top of the circle, but willing to be unselfish and swing it to the pocket to open up the angle for her shooters. They just need to do it more often, and I know that's a lot easier said than done when you have Ugandan 6th in the world sitting ahead of you. And when that lady, Mary Cholak, is feeling herself, she is pretty unstoppable. How athletic.
She's been impressive so far. You were saying in between that first quarter and this one though, Mickey Austin, I'm impressed with her. She's moving, she's got the agility to move. Maybe better than we've seen her sometimes in our UK Super League this year, but you made the point of maybe it's harder in the UK Super League to give her that movement.
Yeah, I think today she's got that freedom, she's got free reign of the circle, and she's able to, you know, release when she wants to, drive back in when she wants to, do layup when she wants to. You know, maybe that's because of the partnership that she's currently in. We don't know whether she has that freedom in the UK Super League and currently where she plays her trade over there. So, you know, maybe now having a look at how she can play here and what she can do when she's given that free reign. Maybe that's something that we'll see from her next year or going forward. I mean, as someone on the opposing team, hopefully not, because that will be a handful to have to deal with.
Yes, a reminder, Mickey Austin, Director of Netball at the UK Super League side of Surrey Storm, so regularly facing Loughborough Lightning, of course, here in the UK. So a change of Velcro in the wing attack position for Uganda. It was Rachel Nanyonga that started under coach Vincent Kiwanuka. And we're looking for Ruth Meme now on court in the wing attack position, with the shooting stat still an Oyella, still at 100%, 10 from 10.
Yeah, you saw Rachel Nanyonga as she head off there, lots of high fives as she walks down the bench. I assume absolutely nothing wrong with her, but just more of a tactical change to give her some rest so that she can save her legs a little bit. One thing that's impressed me most about Stella Oyella, we were talking about this earlier, it's not just the fact that she is sitting on 100%, but the fact that she is in double figures in terms of her contribution to service to Uganda. You know, we've seen it with other teams who play with a tall shooter in the back there. Sometimes a lack of production from that goal attack position. So it's really important, just because you're playing with a tall shooter, that you don't underestimate how important it is that you are confident to go to post. Very lucky that Meme was aware to get on the end of that loose ball there. Uganda looking to drive the ball all the way to their circle, or not drive, just go long ball. Save your legs, don't run, just look long. 27-14. Just under 10 minutes remaining then until half-time. I mentioned these two sides have never played each other in a World Cup. It's only the third World Cup appearance for Uganda. Here in Liverpool, and previously back in 1979 and 2015, 4 years ago.
Samoa.
Nothing phasing the Ugandan shooter at the moment. So Samoa on their centre pass.
Contact centre.
That was a really good look from Jess Atchen there. You saw her trap her player down the sideline on her back and then have a look to see what was going on in the middle of the court. Just unfortunately got her timing a little bit off, but be interested to see as the game progresses whether she could get that timing perfect and come out with that interception.
It really is back and forth, point for point. Everything is just doubled at the moment in this match. 11-22, 12-24, and now 28-14 Uganda are leading. And to put some good work in and stretch the advantage before the half-time talks from Kiwanuka and Salia.
Lovely, strong drive around the top of that circle from Oyella. Saw her offload the ball all the way across circle, drive from one end all the way round to the other. That's unlucky from Samoa, but that's more of what we want to see, that off-body defence, sitting right away from the shooter's body, making it look like the pass is available so that they can come through and have a drive on ball. What you'll also see is because there's so much space that they start to send the ball in flat instead of you being right on the shooter's body and it being really lifted. If you're not at a height advantage, you can't sit on the body of the shooter because otherwise it's just going to be constantly lifted over your head. If you sit off them, the more likely the mid-quarters are to place the ball in flat, which gives you half a shot at winning ball.
Beside the goal attack. Uganda.
Centre pass for Uganda, 30-15. Nice easy feed, splitting the defenders and rolled in nicely by Mary Cholhock.
Footwork.
Great pressure from the Ugandan defensive end. I've been really impressed with how they've been so dogged in that defensive end. Every single player working one-on-one on their own opponent, willing to really put in that groundwork. And we saw that from Sylvia Nanyonga there, being rewarded by coming out with possession and then eventually putting on so much pressure that there was a footwork call. So I think their coach Vincent will be really, really happy with the work they've been doing so far.
Contact goal defence.
Again, splitting the defenders from Samoa. Cholhock pops another one in. She's now 20 from 23 in this match so far.
The trick is, though, with a shooter that tall, is you can't worry about her and the threat that is Mary in the back, because Mary is always going to get the ball because she's formidable. You have to stop the service to her, and you can see the Samoan defenders trying to do that. You know, there's Salia Gibb at goalkeeper. Look at the height difference that we see there. So she knows if she stays stuck on Mary, she's not going to win the ball. So you'll see her coming outside of the circle, having a look to fly onto ball, because you've got to stop the service. You can't just worry about that one tall shooter.
Right on cue, Salia Gibb trying her hardest again to stop Mary Cholhock. Salia Gibb, the sister, incidentally, of Francis Salia, the head coach of Samoa. She's the youngest of 5 sisters, the one on court at the moment, battling with Mary Cholhock. All of the 5 sisters have represented Samoa at netball. And Jeannie Salia Gibb's husband played Samoa for the rugby 15s and 7. She played in the World Cup in 2007, Salia Gibb. There's a goal defence. It's in the family, shall we say. And you've got 5 sisters that played for the national side at netball, and one of them's now the head coach. And you're the captain.
So many relatives. I was distracted by the absolute elbow that you saw from this commentary position by Salanoa in that goal shooter position. Saw her really trying to present and hold up her space, but as she moved off the body, you could see her arm trailing behind her. And as clear as day, umpire Joshua Bowring was straight onto it. Gives Uganda another opportunity to get some goals on the board.
So changes made by both coaches, but the effect at the moment is minimal in terms of the pressure that they're trying to put Samoa onto Uganda. They're stretched out now to a 20-goal lead. That 19-goal lead with just under 5 minutes remaining until half-time. What can they do, Nikki Austin? What can Samoa do? You've mentioned them stopping the service to Mary Cholhock, but are we looking at any changes come half-time in a few minutes' time?
Well, the reality is they've already changed their defensive combination once because of a warning that they picked up early on, which is why it's so important you stay disciplined in these early stages, because now, realistically, do they have another change to go to? So I think the combination that they've got right now in their defensive end is doing some really good stuff. You saw Salia Gibb there coming out to fly on that diagonal ball outside the circle. She mistimed that one and invariably had to collect her opponent before she hit the floor, but the idea behind it is right. You've got to have a look at hunting on ball outside the circle, but At the other end, you've got to be prepared to reward your hard work, and at times the Samoan shooters are caught either on the same side or both behind, or they just gift possession to the Ugandans by throwing away their own centre pass. We would call that a coach killer, a real unforced error that you just can't afford to do.
Well, there's one that Mary Cholhop couldn't quite get to as Samoa pick it up on the back line. Tanmo, of course,
Uganda.
top scorer yesterday at 80%. Could potentially be brought into the shooting circle if needed. The Samoans at the moment shooting at 88 and 92%, the two on court. We will see when the half-time conversations come, but just over 3 minutes then until those half-time chats with Uganda, now 20 once again up.
And by the looks of things, both coaches need that half-time chat to come quickly. We just saw 3 or 4 unforced errors in a row from both teams across the court.
Let's cut that out. Let's just get the ball straight back to the centre.
A little bit of argy-bargy going on after the ball's even gone through the net, constantly competing for the ball. An umpire straight onto it. That's much better from the Samoa defence. You could see them working for that for the past 4 or 5 passages of play. Salia Gibb coming out of the circle, hunting on ball. So glad that she managed to be rewarded with that. She's earned that over the past 4 or 5 minutes. So good job from the Samoan defenders.
It was, and it resulted in another goal for Salanoa in that goal shooter position. So a little bit of momentum here being built up by Samoa before we head into half-time. Brought a couple back, on the verge of making another one back.
Uganda.
They really are, though. Uganda developed rapidly over the last few years. The She Cranes rising up the world rankings, putting on a good display in this first half here.
Contact, goal defence. Contact, goal defence.
Yeah, goal defence. Zapolu standing by, a huge step forward to gain all the space she can get. There he goes, another one. And results, I was about to say a goal, and Mary Cholhop nearly got the rebound.
Captain Salia Gibb is making it known that she is absolutely determined to try and claw her team back into this game. That's the second turnover in a row, and I would call that an effort play. You know, 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, I should say, because there was a Samoan defender out on a penalty. She was in rebound position, making a nuisance of herself, and managed to get the contact call.
Saw a player in the centre court there, Mikiosti. She's still doing it, tying both of her laces up. They don't stop the game though, right?
The goalkeeper.
She's still doing them right in front of us in our commentary position. So one player completely out of play for Uganda at the moment, fixing the shoes.
Yeah,
play continues.
Yeah, the game never stops, always continuing. So it doesn't matter if there's a shoelace or, I mean, it stops for a beer, but if your shoe comes off, that's a contentious issue. Probably the whole time for that. But other than that, there are no stoppages in netball other than quarter times, half times.
Just flew past her like salmon upstream as Ruth Meme, the wing attack for Uganda, fixes her shoes. And it's 38-23, under 60 seconds then remaining. We'll get another goal, another couple of goals maybe. Why not? It's the World Cup. Before half-time comes, Uganda over the top into the hands of Mary Cholhop. Well, there's one.
But a much better surge from Samoa. That was the first goal Uganda have scored in about 1.5 to 2 minutes. And if you have a look at the quarter score, it's much more competitive in this quarter. So Francis Salia will be saying to her girls at half-time, more of the same going forward. Grind out a performance. Not doing things like that, though.
Wayward shot. There was a chance there for Samoa in the dying seconds to pull one back, and in the blink of an eye, Uganda have the chance to get that second goal that I half joked about getting with the time that was left, and it's gone in.
You should be a coach.
Mary Cholhop with 3 seconds to go. Pops another one in for Uganda. Half-time arrives here in Liverpool. Uganda 40, Samoa 23. They have an 11-goal advantage after the first quarter. They've stretched it out to 17. And the She Cranes, who finished 8th in the last World Cup 4 years ago in Sydney, they're in total control of this match here against Samoa. And Samoa, they're going to go off, have a chat with Francis Salia. We'll see if any more changes are made by her and maybe Vincent Kiwanuka for Uganda. But at the moment, the Ugandan side leading Samoa 40-23. We're getting us up underway then for the third quarter. will be Uganda. And let's have a look, Mickey Austin, about those changes that have been made. It looks like Uganda have made them in the centre, goal defence and goalkeeper position.
Yeah, lots of changes across the board from Uganda. Probably more just from a resting perspective. Give people's legs a rest, get some players out there who potentially haven't been blooded into this competition yet. Oh, great tip there from the new goalkeeper in Namuwaya on the court, straight away, straight into the action. She'll be really happy to get her hands on the ball nice and early.
Contact, goal defence.
So Betty Kiza for Uganda's gone into the centre position. Nampungu in the goal defence. Namuwaya into the goalkeeper. And it also looks like there's been a change potentially in the centre position for Samoa as well.
Yeah, we see Lafuali come back onto the court into that centre position. It'll be really interesting to see what she can do and what sort of flair that she brings.
So, nice lively start to this third quarter. So the 20-goal lead for Uganda. Luamani on the back line, the wing attack for Samoa. A little bit too much speed, and picked up nicely on the back line for the Ugandan centre doing her job. So flying through the centre third.
Yeah, the right idea there from Samoa. You saw them use their triangle play, swing the ball to try and open up the angle for their goal shooter. There was just a little bit too much speed on the ball, that was all. A little bit of touch, as we call it, a bit of touch onto the ball.
So confirmation of the Ugandan side. And there she is, Kiza, waiting patiently. Centre pass done. Samoa changes being confirmed. Well, it was a cross-court pass, but even long arms and any player wasn't going to quite reach, so Samoa pick it up on the sideline. And they've got to utilise this. Contact called.
Contact centre.
We'd expect to see that, though. It gets a little bit scrappy when there are so many changes that are made. You know, we see 4 across the court. That's quite a lot in the space of a quarter, and those new combinations need time to just settle and gel. So hopefully in a couple of minutes' time or within the next minute, I'm sure the coaches will be hoping they'll have that time to take a breath, settle, and just go about their business nice and calmly.
Oh, a lovely take. It's the speed, it's the accuracy, it's the agility, it's the vision, it's the Velcro on the hands that Mary Cholhock seems to have, the reach and the take. Smooth as.
Yeah, reach and take, but unfortunately could not finish the shot on that occasion, and also didn't come up with the offensive rebound, which we're so used to seeing her gain. The 4th shot she's missed. She's currently 30 out of 34 at 88%, still not doing a bad return for her team at all. Much better from Samoa there. Again, 2 options, one in the front, one in the back. New mid-quarter onto the court. And Lafuali making the correct decision and sighting her shooter that's closest to the post.
So no changes by either coach in the shooting positions at the moment. Peace Prascovian looking across to the Ugandan bench. She's on the exercise bike warming up, Peace Prascovian. Maybe that's a sign. And still no Tanimo as well for Samoa, their best shooter yesterday. And I see a shake of the heads just in the back of the shot from the Samoan bench. Yes. And that was maybe in reaction to some of the, let's just say, action going on in the defensive circle.
Yeah, I think they was a little bit unhappy with the arm wraparound of the hip. Nampinga in that goal defence position, but you know, umpire Gareth Fowler was straight onto it. He saw it, no problem. I've seen it, ladies. I've called it. And they managed to get another turnover from Captain Fantastic in that goalkeeper position in Salia Gibb. She has worked tirelessly back there for the Samoans today, and you see all of them in the background there, bench, clapping, arms in the air, trying to get their team to lift, because this quarter score is really close and competitive. Great elevation, outside arm, nice and clean, keeping the umpires out of it. It's fantastic to see.
Yep, the Salia Gibb family on the bench and on the court doing their bit for Samoa here. It was a good little passage of play, this, but the defence of Uganda, of course, making it hard for Samoa to getting into the shooting circle. Oh, that battle there is wonderful between the goal shooter and the goalkeeper of Uganda, but gets into the hands of Tuo. And she rolls one in.
Uganda.
Nice little round of applause once again from the bench.
Yeah, but we see that triangle play around the circle edge from the Samoan midcourt. That is the key for them. Ball movement will always beat defenders. Ball speed, move the ball nice and quickly, be willing to be unselfish, swing the ball across the edge of the circle to your other midquarter to open up the angle. And we see the quarter score nice and competitive at 5-4, so clearly the instruction that Francis Salia gave at half-time is doing wonders for their team. And as I say that, I curse them and they throw the ball away across the sideline.
Oh, there she is, Peace Pascovia, off the bike. Oh, she's such an ambassador. She's done so much for Ugandan netball around the world, flying the flag, putting and instilling belief into Ugandan players that you can become one of the best in the world.
Isn't she just amazing? Honestly, she's so inspiring, such a beautiful, pleasant person. She's got time for everybody. She has no idea how good she is. She's so gracious. And I spoke to her at the candle lighting ceremony and she referred to netball as being her anchor. And if there isn't a more amazing description of what this game can do for women and girls across the world, then you heard it first from Peace Pascovia. So brilliant to see, and I'm sure she has been an absolute inspiration for other Ugandan players like Mary Cholhock.
Indeed, we wait to see if we get the 30-year-old Ugandan legend on court. But at the moment, there's a change into the wing defence position for Uganda. It was Sylvia Nanyonga in that position. So another change by coach Vincent Kiwanuka. 46-27, under 9 minutes remaining of this third quarter.
Beautiful speed of ball around the circle there from the Samoans. Once again, swinging the ball to the top of the circle to centre in Lafuali, making a real impact of her speed of ball. Very impressed with what I've seen from her so far. Again, another unforced error.
Barney's obstruction wing. Obstruction, goal shooter.
Obstruction called against against Mary Cholhock. I was watching Peace still warming up in the background. Lunges now, she's on to lunges, the Ugandan star. In the meantime, Samoa. Looks like that change. Namfuka now in that wing defence position for Uganda. Samoa under the 10-foot post. And Salanoa pops another one in.
Another goal courtesy of their captain, Salia Gibb, in that defensive circle. Coming out with ball once again. Really driving her team on, which is brilliant.
Both players go back, both players.
See, that's lucky there from Uganda. So usually if you haven't set the penalty where the umpire has deemed you need to take it from, they can and have the ability to actually overturn the penalty. I think the reason it wasn't there is because neither player was set. So you heard the umpire say both players take a step back, and that's why the ball was taken back on that occasion.
Close quarter this. Uganda just one up, leading this third quarter 7-6. It was just a 6-goal difference in the second quarter between the teams.
Inside the circle, inside the circle.
Fantastic athletic ability there from the Ugandan mid-quarters. Outside arm, round the circle with the sense of mind to stay onside. They actually forced one of the Samoan mid-quarters inside the circle, which is why that ball was taken back.
Contact, goalkeeper.
Nah, contact.
Yeah, but she knew it, you know, and that's a really smart, I don't want to say challenge, but, you know, Salia Gibb knew that she was late on that occasion. You saw her slowing down, but just couldn't slow down quick enough. She put her arms out to grab the Ugandan mid-quarter so that there wasn't a big hit. It wasn't made into a bigger deal than it needed to be. There was no massive contact. She had the sense of mind to pull out of it, and that's really smart and lovely to see.
48-29, just over 6 minutes remaining to the final 15 minutes. Samoa pottering around, bit of action in the centre third. Noise levels high at the M&S Bank Arena. England, Scotland on court 1. Uganda, Samoa on court 2. Second day of action here on a wonderful World Cup so far. Players loving it, fans loving it. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're loving it.
Whole time, blood.
Oh, blood.
Goal attack. Let's grab that ball.
I like how
We need a
Toa
blood cut
actually
too.
drew
Josh,
the
we need a
umpire's
blood
eye to her bleeding there. Usually you see players doing all sorts to avoid the fact that they have blood, so the umpire can't see it. But I think a clear nosebleed there, so not something she could hide.
Yeah, the ball's being checked as well to make sure there's nothing left. In the meantime, we're going to get a change in the goal shooter position for Samoa. It was Salanoa. She's now into the goal attack position.
They're going to go into extended
therefore
time.
means
It means that the 90% shooter from yesterday's game, 18 out of 20, Tanamo comes back onto the court. It'll be interesting to see whether she can pick up where she left off yesterday. Just making sure they're checking the court, no blood. Cannot play the game of netball if there is any blood on the court, on your dress, on the ball.
And over here.
And there is some blood on the court, so it's just going to take a little bit of time. Ball girl getting more than she bargained for today.
It's just the umpire a little bit here and here, making sure, doing a thorough job as they should. A top job as well by all the umpires, all the officials, all the helpers and volunteers that are involved in this Netball World Cup. Absolutely super stuff. But we're back underway, 49-29. Nice little bounce pass to get us underway. So Tanamo back in the goal shooter position. There she is, popping one in. Gives me a chance to tell you that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's her uncle.
And at the other end, as if that isn't a superstar enough, but he's currently being outdone by Peace Proskovia, who is walking onto the court in a goal attack bib cap.
Oh, it's all happening here, Uganda, Samoa. Absolutely love it. Proskovia's on. Goal attack for Uganda.
Can we just appreciate they've got Mary Cholhut, Peace Proskovia, both inside the circle. Both of them just ran in, stood behind the defender and put their arm in the air. Can you tell that both of them play goal shooting normally?
The Tallies are on. Back line, confirmation of the changes. Uganda leading by 20. A lot of excitement from netball fans around the world. Cholhok and Peace Proskovia on for Uganda. Again out the circle. Cholhok feeds it in. Contact against the goalkeeper.
Obstruction.
And pops one in.
That was a beautiful feed in there from Mary Cholhut. Almost basketball-esque. One hand, Gretel Tippett styly. Sending it straight into Peace Proskovia, who had the sense of mind and the ability to take the ball under pressure from two Samoan defenders. Isn't she just a superstar?
Well, was in the UK Super League, of course, previously for Loughborough Lightning, but in September 2018, went to Australia's top Super League for Sunshine Coast Lightning. One of the tallest players here, Peace Proskovia, 1.93 m, so making an impact. But so is the crowd here, who are cheering furiously on the other court as England Roses take a victory. It's England's second highest Netball World Cup score against Scotland. Absolutely super win by the England Roses.
Yay! I'm non-biased.
53-31 on court 2, under 4 minutes remaining. This is good from Uganda. Going to pick up their first win in this Netball World Cup. Remember, they were 8th in 2015. Always just continuing under Vincent Kiwanuka to be up and coming. Made their first appearance at the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast last year in Australia in 2018, finishing 6th. They're putting some good performances. There he is. They're developing rapidly. They're one of several African nations in this World Cup. Malawi, South Africa, Zimbabwe. They've got the most teams in terms of the INF regions. So good representation and a good performance so far by Uganda. Meme drops the ball on the sideline. Teammate comes across.
Rapati is absolutely nipping at her heels for every single intercept. You can see her flying across the court. She got a two-handed one a second ago, but fortunately, story of the day, Samoa was unable to convert at the other end. But I think Coach Francis Salia will be really happy with her wing defence today, you know. Rapati and Salia Gibb, for me, have really stood out in that defensive end for Samoa. They've worked tirelessly, they've mentally stayed in the game, and they've been willing to really scrap away to try and win some ball back for their team.
So a contact call, Peace Proskovia resets and pops another one in. There's a Samoan bench. On the left, Francis Salia. Really is an entrepreneur since retiring in 2012. She runs her own netball academy down in New Zealand. She said when she was given the head coach role in 2017, it was an opportunity she couldn't turn down, and leading her Samoan side here in Liverpool.
We're the goal attackers. We're the goal attackers.
Lucky contact for Samoa there. You saw once again the mid-quarter swinging the ball across the circle to open up the angle, but both shooters presenting behind their defenders. And they're finding it really hard to battle through the body. So that tells me, or as a coach, I would be saying to them, you know, ladies, you've got to start your preparation work early. You've got to be willing to work before the ball lands, so that when I'm looking at you, you are available then, not just starting your work then.
Advantage contact, wing attack.
Praskovia up to the line that she's allowed to go to in the goal attack position, working her third of the court, and before you know it, a little 1-2 with the teammates, and she's back under the shooting post. It's funny though, Mickey, with Samoa up the other end of the court doing their business, the two shooters for Uganda who have played in the UK Super League, just have a little glance to their right to see how England have got on the other court. Teammates previously, of course, with many of the England Roses. But Samoa now looking to finish out this game. They take on the England Roses tomorrow to the Samoans. So they want to finish into this fourth quarter coming up. Some good strong work. Nice bounce pass in. Tanimo. Oh, nearly. Such a start in Samoa. Started netball age 9. Dudu Telatia Tanimo, a relative of the former Silver Fern, Linda Vagana. And did I mention that she's related to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Did you? Is he here? Oh my gosh. That's amazing. That would be on the back of my dress if that was me. What a great family relation.
Well, the most important thing is she's 3 from 4 at the moment for her side. Here's Praskovia there, little step forward, little layoff. 30 seconds to go until the final quarter. Tanimo, world-class netballer in her own right. There's all of the 14 players on the court here at the Netball World Cup. 16 teams in the world battling for the World Cup trophy. So, is the time for one more goal? Uganda popped a couple in with about 40 seconds to go up until half-time, but we're coming up to 10 seconds remaining. Here we go. So I'm going to confidently predict there's time for one more, but the clock's going to run out. There's no way even the likes of the Ugandan shooting stars can get another one back in.
And what you'll see is a little bit of game sense, shall we say, with making sure the clock runs out before you take the centre pass. So smart from Samoa there.
So the end of the third quarter here on court number 2, Uganda stretching away, continuing to stretch away from Samoa, 57-33. With just 15 minutes left here to play, Uganda in the driving seat in their second match of this Netball World Cup. There was a huge bag of ice put on Peace Praskovia's back of her right hamstring when she went off the court, but she's still on court in the goal shooter position, directly in front of us here in the commentary position, but there's been a couple of other changes.
This is why you don't run out a goal attack if you're not used to it. It's hard, you know. It's really, really difficult.
They put her back at goal shooter.
Yeah, go back there, you'll be fine. Don't worry about your hamstring, you'll be good.
I've got half an eye on Peace Praskovia. She moves away to my right. Up and running in the final 15 minutes. There she is. She seems okay. Oh, the ball's gone under our commentary box.
Can't get it quick.
I'm doing a very British apology to Achan, who's in the back in the wing attack position. I couldn't reach it, Mickey. Sorry.
We see Rachel Nanyonga come back onto the goal attack position where she started before she left the court.
Here.
Unlucky there from Misa, who is now on the court for Samoa in that goal defence position. And just as we say that, she comes out with another fantastic interception. And I'm pretty sure this is her first time gracing the court. So well done to Misa. She'll be making a huge impact, and the bench seems wrapped for her. Samoa are able to finish off with a goal at the other end. Here she is, front position, straight up in the air, 2 hands. Great work from Misa.
Making a debut at this World Cup here in Liverpool.
Contact, goal defence.
And a good snatch from the goal shooter. pull one back. High ball over. Proskovia out the circle again. She'll shuffle back in, get herself into that goal shooter position, ready and poised.
Another great defensive intercept there. Oh, and a big collision, but lots of smiles on each of their faces. All played in the spirit of the game. Misa's just loving her time out there. Clearly that partnership between her and captain in Celia Gibb in that goalkeeper position is working really nicely. Misa's got lovely height as well, which is brilliant.
Confirmation of the changes, scrolling across the bottom of your screen. In this final quarter then, Uganda 57, Samoa 36. The highest score that Uganda have ever had in the Netball World Cup was 74 goals against Zambia. So they'll be hopefully looking to potentially challenge that statistic. It was back in 2015, just 4 years ago.
Nuali Atia not happy with that challenge.
Contact goalkeeper.
She gives her opponent a little bit of a look on the floor.
Goalkeeper
She's trying to win that ball, but all's well that ends well. Ends up in Salanoa's hands, and she's able to finish with the shot. Currently sitting on 21 out of 22 at 96%, which is great percentages for her. She'll be really happy with that.
Contact goalkeeper.
So Samoa looking to build with something. We've started this fourth quarter well. Leading, make that now
Uganda.
5 goals to nothing in this fourth quarter. We were 10th at the World Cup back in Sydney 4 years ago. The first World Cup appearance back in 1991.
Have a look in this end third, you'll be able to see a little bit of a zone defence come on there. All 4 defenders sitting off their player in a box shape in the middle of the court, making players play out of the middle channel, around the sidelines, and in turn swing the ball cross circle. And who else than 21-year-old Lenora Misa, gracing the court for the very first time. That is her 3rd intercept since being on the court in the past 5 minutes. Tell me why it's taken so long?
Rolled in.
Samoa.
Vantage break, goal defence.
Great feed into the circle from Rachel Nanyonga. She's really built that partnership between her and Proskovia. This is the usual combination in that goal attack, goal shooter position for Uganda, so expect to see lots of feeds, really good, well-placed balls. Right on cue, she sends another one, long ball into that goal third. Lovely presenting from Peace Proskovia in that goal shooter position.
Yep. One of those warm-up lunges I was talking about there on display. That's why she does it.
Did you teach her that?
Well, I wouldn't get back up, so we'll leave that one there. 5-3. Samoa, though, is still leading this fourth quarter. As you say, Mickey Austin, those changes were made. They've been effective. And the difference at the moment is obviously unsurmountable for the Samoan side with under 10 minutes remaining in the match. But it may be giving now Francis Celia, the Samoan head coach, before the England match tomorrow, a few thought processes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so positive. Some really, really great triangles. We spoke about it all game long. They just haven't done it enough. But that last passion play was brilliant. Crafting the angle, opening it up, and a beautiful feed into their shooter in Salanoa, who took that ball lovely and strong. Seems to be presenting a lot better in this quarter against new goalkeeper for Uganda. Namuea.
Right, goal defence, far side.
So Samoa looking to put on a show, of course, for their home fans, this team of experience and youth. And Samoan netball, if you read their strapline of what they want to achieve, they say our vision is to be the leading sport in Samoa, empowering communities through netball. And they're here in Liverpool at the 2019 Vitality Netball World Cup, representing and trying to get something out of the last few minutes of this match here. And it's their centre pass, cross court, then under 9 minutes remaining.
Goal third.
A lot of whistle in this fourth quarter, Millie.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, I think the umpires have done a really good job at controlling the game. You know, we saw really early on them set the precedents. There was a couple of cautions, even a warning for some dangerous contact really early on. I think it's important that, you know, if they set the precedents nice and early, then the players have got ample amount of time to adapt. I think the difficulty is, we spoke about it yesterday, you know, when you've been on the court for 30, 40 minutes and you're getting away with doing a certain level of contact or obstruction, and then all of a sudden it's been escalated to a caution or a warning, there's a little bit of a difficulty in understanding what it is you're actually doing that's wrong, because you've been getting away with doing it for so long. So really important that the umpires set the precedents nice and early. I mean, Joshua Bowring and Gareth Fowler are two of the most experienced umpires we have in this competition. They umpire in the best leagues in the world in terms of netball, so they're used to seeing this level of contest, and I think they've done a grand job today.
Yep, Southern Hemisphere being represented in terms of umpires in this match. So Uganda, well, they've surpassed their second highest score ever in a World Cup. That was 61 goals against Fiji back in Sydney in 2015. And they're chasing down that 74-goal highest score ever in a World Cup. We'll see if the clock allows them to do that. But Samoa looking to get it into a shooting position. Short passing, some loud shouting, the constant communication, of course, that we have in netball.
Once again, you can see the mid-quarters working really, really hard to swing the ball and open up that angle for their shooters inside the circle. There's lots of body on body, but not really presenting that strongly towards ball, only option being over. And Samoan mid-court doing the right thing, trying to play safe netball, because they're currently leading this quarter in 9-6, and they know that they don't want to give up this lead. So they're being nice and smart and patient with the ball. Salia Gibb once again coming through with the absolute flying interception, creating the mismatch in the feed and with the ability to come out of the ball. She has been outstanding until she just gives that ball away.
Nanyonga, the goal attack for Uganda, read it perfectly. Ball back in possession therefore of Uganda, but in the blink of an eye, it's back with Samoa. This is a nice pacey finish to this match here. Samoa putting some good stuff together, which will buoy them with confidence ahead of England tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this is what this competition is all about for the lower teams in terms of the world ranking. You know, Samoa is sitting at 14th in the world currently, so it's really important that they have more aim than just them going into every game being like, right, we're going to win it. They have to be realistic with their targets. So, you know, as I say, Francis Salia will be really happy with the team in terms of this last quarter performance, especially if they can see it out and ultimately win the quarter. And then that should give them lots of confidence in terms of going into their game against England tomorrow, which by the looks of things in their form against Scotland today, they are feeling up for it.
Come up beside her.
Hopefully we'll hear from both coaches with our courtside reporter Hannah Wilkes after this match concludes. Coming up to 5 minutes remaining of this match. 63-42, Uganda through the centre third. Slowing down with the pace. Nice and easy, direct through. Oh, another lunge take.
Structure goal defence. Taken, not beside.
That was unlucky from Salia Gibb. Again, you saw her trying to have a hunt out on the ball that she thought was going to go from Rachel Nanyonga to that pocket. Unfortunately, she just left a little bit too early, which drew the eyes. So Rachel Nanyonga knew that she was going to try and win that ball, and it drew her line of vision back into Peace Proskovia. So right idea, just need to hold her timing a teeny tiny bit. That's the second consecutive shot in a row from really close range that Teo has missed. And you know, things like that for Samoa are going to be things that, if they want to climb up these world rankings, if they want to push on in this competition, if they want to win quarters, ultimately win games, they're going to have to make sure that they execute going forward.
Samoa.
Just over 4 minutes remaining. Both of these teams battling hard, as you would. You work extremely hard as a nation to qualify for the Netball World Cup. Qualification throughout all the different INF regions. Teams qualifying through last year, through this year. You've got to make it count when you arrive. Once every 4 years, of course, the World Cup. And Samoa then with their centre pass. Samoa and the beautiful islands in the South Pacific being represented, and that was a good take. And another goal for the team in blue.
A fantastic strength and take there from goal shooter of Samoa in T. Salanoa. She's done really well today, sitting on a really lovely high percentage, 25 out of 26 at 96%, sorry. She's been really strong and presented underneath that post. So again, I think coach can take lots of positives from some individual performances from this lady on the ball right now. Rapati has been very, very good. Misa just come onto the court in this last quarter, but has really impressed me.
She has some good passing, some good movement from Samoa. Little flick over, nice take.
Obstruction, advantage goal.
Salanoa
Uganda.
pops another one in. I mentioned just missed 1-all match as the
Breaking, wing attack.
Samoan shooter. Under 3 minutes now remaining before both the teams go off, rest up, recover for their matches tomorrow in Group D.
Side wing attack, goal third. It's in the goal third. The goal third.
Unlucky from Luamanu there, just putting her toe over that line. So even though she came out of the interception, ball went straight back into Ugandan hands.
Samoa. Advantage break, wing defence.
Oh, pushing it close to the maximum 3-second hold, but passed on. Instruction called. We're coming up to 2 minutes remaining, so both these teams have never faced each other in the Netball World Cup. And it's going to go the way of Uganda for the first ever head-to-head battle between Uganda and Samoa. Uganda are just going to fall short of their best ever World Cup score. Not going to get to 74 or past that with under 2 minutes remaining. But as Mickey Austin said, some good individual performances, some good collective work being done by Samoa in this last quarter. They're leading it by, what, 3 goals in this fourth quarter, 13-10.
Yeah, certainly a much more positive performance today than we saw yesterday in their game against Scotland. Like that passage of play there, 3 passes straight into their shooter right underneath the post. And even better than that, right through the middle of the court. Quickest way for the ball to travel down court is in a straight line through the middle. So another really positive sign.
Yep, they scored 35 against Scotland yesterday. That one's got snow on it, as we say. A nice high one, a scramble for it.
Scrapping across the floor. This defensive partnership for me, from Celia Gibb in at goalkeeper and Misa on the court at goal defence, has been outstanding in the last quarter.
And that shows you what it means. We've got a minute left in a match that Samoa are not going to win because they're 21 goals behind, but they're fighting for every single ball because it matters.
Absolutely, and we spoke about this yesterday, Kath, in terms of them still playing for a bib. You know, Leonora Misa's come onto the court, turned over 4 interceptions on her own, and that could be the difference between her starting the game tomorrow and getting more than 30 minutes court time.
Another caution handed out to the goalkeeper of Uganda. Namuwea just in the final dying seconds picking up one from the official. But the last minute of action in Uganda versus Samoa. 35 goals, as I mentioned, they scored against Scotland yesterday, Samoa. Going to get close to the 50 mark today. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's a hurdle athletic position.
Nuali Atia putting her body on the line, trying to scrap for every single ball. Unfortunately, she knew she was in a behind position, so there was no way she was going to come out with that ball, but you got to try.
The last few seconds, Uganda in control. Another one rattles in for the She Cranes. They've done the job here today. They're going to run out of time, potentially. I always say that tentatively. Yep, the final whistle goes. Peace Praskovia on this occasion ran out of time. Just not enough space between the two defenders. But Uganda win out against Samoa, 69-48. Applause from the crowd here at the M&S Bank Arena, appreciating the Netball World Cup being here in the north of England. And that, for Uganda, is potentially what head coach Vincent Kiwanuka would have wanted before they play Scotland tomorrow. Good contribution there from Mary Cholhock. She played her part here today, shooting 35 from 40 goals. The fans are happy. 69-48, Uganda win. So the usual nice respectful huddle between the two teams. And it was really an entertaining clash between Uganda and Samoa. Uganda flew out the blocks as they did yesterday when they played against England in the first quarter, leading 22-11. They stretched that out at half-time to 17 goals was the lead, leading 40-23. Changes were made by both head coaches throughout the match. At the end of the third quarter, it was a 57-33 lead for Uganda. And then some changes by Francis Salea in that final quarter had them battling in a way that they hadn't done for the rest of the match. And Uganda lost that final quarter by 12 goals to 15, but ultimately won out the match 69-48.
Yeah, I think the damage was done really early on in the game. You know, Uganda was able to put 22 goals on the board in that first quarter. They won it by 10 goals, and to be honest, from there, there's only so much that Samoa can do. But that last quarter from Samoa was so positive. The defensive pressure right from the beginning of the game from Salea Gibb for me was absolutely outstanding. She stayed mentally tough, she was resilient, she scrapped, and that partnership, as I say, and the way that they finished the game with Misa coming out with sort of 3 or 4 individual interceptions is something that Francis Salea can be very, very happy with going forward.
Well, she can. England tomorrow for Samoa, Scotland tomorrow for Uganda. But Peace Proskovia, there she is, popping another one in. 15 from 17, 88% today for the Ugandan shooting star. And there's the stats then at full time. 77 shots, playing 54 from Samoa. That 90% shot rate from the She Cranes. They have a higher penalty count in total. But what matters is they took up the battle against Samoa and they came out victorious. So let's look at Group D then, the standings. England played 2, 4 points, goal difference of 68. Uganda now in second position ahead of Scotland and Samoa. One of 4 groups, remember. The top 3 in each of these 4 groups after the end of tomorrow's play go to the prelim stage 2. So the day 2 Court 1 schedule, England winning out there, Scotland 70 goals to 34. Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago, literally just behind myself and Mickey Austin, are ready to rock and roll on court number 1. And there is what's coming up next here on court 2 in just over half an hour's time. The Proteas South Africa take on Fiji. The Fiji Pearls against the Proteas, and next up on court 2, Uganda confirmed then 69-48. So thick and fast the action here at the Vitality Netball World Cup. The Ugandans, well, they don't need a reason to party, but when they win in the Netball World Cup, they're quite understandably, Mickey Austin, delighted. And we've seen that so much with every single team so far, even just on day 2, the support is phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I've said this, we could all probably learn a little bit of something from these fans. They've travelled an awful long way. They support their teams to the very end, no matter what. And they appreciate and understand how important the moment is for their team making it to the Netball World Cup in 2019. And we could all learn a little something from that.
So selfies being taken, high fives from the team, friends and family here, fans are here. Would have very much enjoyed, if you're a She Cranes fan, the win by Uganda. And they will rest up, recuperate, and play Scotland tomorrow. So our reporter Hannah Wilkes is catching up now, though, with our player of the match.
Well, Stella Oyella, a bit of a roller coaster World Cup for you so far. Removed from the match yesterday and player of the match today. What do you make of that turnaround?
It is a good start because yesterday it wasn't a good game, but I tried my level best, and today is my day because I had to make sure that I correct all the mistakes I did yesterday. So it's my time. So I had to make it.
It's fascinating to see the change in position from you, playing at centre yesterday and goal attack today. Where do you feel more comfortable on court?
I feel more comfortable when I'm shooting because it's my position. Because yesterday it wasn't my position, but I was trying to help my teammates so that we can catch up with the scores. So, yeah, doing like that.
It was a convincing win from the whole team today. How do you feel you're performing as a unit?
It's a very, very good unit because we have performed well for today. I've helped my team so that we can catch up for today's win.
Big game tomorrow against Scotland. Is that one you think you can take this forward and get another win?
Yeah, there has to be a win because we want to move out of the group stages so that we can catch up with the other stages.
Well, best of luck tomorrow and well played today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I'll just bring in the assistant coach for Uganda. Nelson, first of all, we saw so many changes throughout the tournament, throughout the match today. How did you assess your team's performance?
Yeah, the girls worked so well, and we kept on trying different combinations as we prepare, the tournament is progressing. So we had to prepare to test so many combinations, and it worked for us, and we're happy for that win.
I think one of the most exciting combinations we got to see was Mary Chollock at goal shooter and Peace Proskovia at goal attack. As a coach, that must be brilliant to have as a possibility.
Yeah, it's it's a tough decision, but it works. When practiced well, it works because they are both good players, and Peace is athletic. If trained well, she can manage the goal attack.
How pleased overall are you with that team performance?
Of course, yes. Any win in a tournament, you must be. We are very happy for that win. Any win is a happiness to the team, and I just want to thank the guys because they worked as a unit. It was very good.
Scotland tomorrow, a must-win game if you're to progress through. With the changes we saw today, are you confident in what your strongest seven is?
Yeah, we are planning as they plan because it is a decisive game. So we are planning to see that at least we play well. That's why we kept on changing, see who will do what, when. So we are ready for that challenge still.
Well played today and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Very much. Well, Francis, not the win that you'd want today. Frustratingly, though, you did win that fourth quarter. You must have been buoyed by that performance.
Yeah, really am pleased, and really pleased that we were able to bring on some of the new ones into the team that are new to the environment, and I thought they did a really good job. And I think they made the most of the opportunity, and that was a real testament in that fourth quarter.
With those players you brought on, Lenora Misa, for one, had an immediate impact. Are they changes that you'll maybe think about taking forward into your final group game?
I think one of the benefits for us is that we are able to make changes, so it's good that we've got a bench that we can roll in, roll out. So, again, we have to look at the footage and then we'll make decisions for tomorrow's game.
Tough game, of course, up against England. What were the aims for you and the Samoan team coming into this game?
We needed to focus on scoring off our centre passes, and that's an area that we weren't very good at yesterday. And I think just having a quick look at the stats in this game, the fourth quarter especially, we were able to get, I think it was 73%, which is really good for us, and we need to be able to apply that for tomorrow.
What are you hoping to achieve across the whole tournament, and do you still think that those goals are feasible?
Well, we have to relook now because we were really hoping to be in that top three, so we'll have a look and we'll reassess and we'll reset our goals for going forward for the tournament.
Thanks very much, Francis.
Thank you.